So with that being said, Andrew, tell me a little bit about yourself.
I was born and raised in Moses Lake, Washington. I come from a really heavily agricultural community. My family was beef feeders, and we did all of the. We were country as it is, as you can get, and and I started, you know, not really so much being as geared towards the animals, but I had obviously a heavy mechanical inclination. So I went to school and I got a degree in auto mechanics. I was racing motorcycles for a long time. Pretty much been, I've done all things throughout my life. Not all things, but a lot of. I've been a jack of all trades and a master of a few.
But for the most part, very technical. I like to work with.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, not only that, but I was also, when I was in high school, I was the president of my speech and debate club, and so I learned how to be a salesman of sorts. I used to have my own lawn care service for 7 years, so I learned how to do, that kind of got locked in with that just because of the fact that, my dad used to tell me that if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life. But if you do for a living what you like to do for a hobby, it takes the fun out of doing it for a hobby. So, I could service all of my gas-powered yard care equipment and cut down on my overhead essentially and still do what I loved, but had just kind of a different purpose. So, I've been working. Like I said, I've been a mechanic for pretty much all of my career. I've done a lot of other things, framing and such like that. My father was a carpenter his entire life until he died. And, I got good at it. And, I moved over here from Moses Lake about 4 months ago now. And since I've been here, I've just been trying to get locked in with employment and that's causing me to just kind of reach out and see what possibilities are available.
No, I completely understand in regards to kind of from making a transition anywhere from from different city to different state, things like that. It's always kind of that going through that transition period of trying to find something that you
yeah
wanna,
no and that's the thing too, is it when you come over, I came over here and like where I was raised, I mean there was no trees, it was wide open country, no rain, and then I came over here to Vancouver area, and it rains all the time. There's trees everywhere. Nobody knows how to drive. Common sense packed its bags and took off. And I don't know. It's a completely different place, and it's kind of a culture shock. And so, like I said, throughout my whole trying to find employment and trying to get locked in with, a reputable company to work for, it's been rough, but there's also many other aspects to why I've been reaching out to, other fields of work, is partially because, when I went to school for auto mechanics, I was much younger, and as you get older, the jobs like that, that are super physically demanding get a little bit harder. And so I don't know exactly what the position that we're talking about has all entails, but I'm not broken by any stretch of the imagination, but something that, was, not as 100% physically demanding as the jobs that I was doing,
Yeah, and that's kind of what what we want to accomplish, in today's call is just kind of thanks for sharing a little bit of your little bit of background, and that's we want to go ahead and tell you about what the role is, kind of what the day to day operations are, so then that way we can kind of get that if it's going to be a mutual fit, we can discuss the next steps.
Yeah.
But like you said, just kind of going out there from Moses Lake out to a little bit closer to where the location is at, in Portland, different, like you said.
Yeah, I'm in Battleground, Washington, but it's just a hop, skip, and a jump away from Portland.
Yeah, that's just kind of a good 40-minute drive, probably say. And then gotten to know the area for the most part? Pretty familiar?
Yeah, yeah. I've got a lot of family over here. Yeah, and they're all locked in. They're doing their things. So
Great, great. With that being said, what I'm going to go ahead and do is just kind of ask you a couple questions based on trying to find out what you're kind of looking for in a sense. So the timeline is the first question we ask. Um, your current situation, if you're currently working, are you wanting to make I guess, kind of, what, the 2 weeks if you are working, or would you say you want something to start since the holidays and the year is ending after the New Year's? What would you say the timeline is?
So the one question I had is, so is the job an hourly job? Is it a commission job? There's a few questions. I'm just curious on that.
Yeah, sure. So the position itself is actually going to start off being hourly when it goes into training. After that, it'll actually go into, which would be commission based. Um, so you're looking at something around, I would say, first year income potential once you kind of get through what the onboarding, past the training. Um, so you're looking to make somewhere between 70 to 80K yearly.
Okay.
That would also
Okay.
include benefits, which I'll give you a little more details as we
So
ask you a couple of questions.
it'd be a full-time position.
It is a full-time position, yes.
Okay.
For the most part, we feel that it's going to be full-time. You work your 40 hours. There might be overtime. Depends on how busy we're getting. I know at this point we are growing. We did add a couple of other additional positions. But you're looking at your standard 40-hour week with an occasional working on a Saturday. Just kind of depends if, let's say, you set up an appointment, customer works throughout the week and would not be able to be home until, let's say, Saturday, mid-morning job, things like that. For the most part, is that something that you'd be okay?
Oh yeah, no, definitely. That sounds just absolutely perfect. Yeah, no. So I would probably be I have a job right now that I just started just recently here, and I'm not 100% sure that it's really what I'm trying to do. I mean, I don't know. So my plan is to see kind of where I don't really think that it's gonna pan out. So I'm kind of thinking that if everything lines up, that after the new year would be when I would be anticipated start.
Okay, and that's understandable. It's about 3 weeks away from the New Year's. Then we've got the holidays. So our process itself does take about 2 weeks. We finish off this week with the phone interviews. Then we kind of get ready to do in person the following week. So it's in the holidays, of course. So it's kind of lining up to that. We just want to make sure we're on the same page with that. So starting the New Year's fresh. Great. With that being said, go ahead.
Oh, go on.
I was just going to ask, based on kind of we went over with the pay, is that something that you're kind of looking for?
Yes.
More of hourly commission, or you okay with it?
Hourly, well, hourly would be good until I get locked in, and then commission, I'm sure it could probably be a better deal. And now my next question is it installing the doors, or is it selling the doors? Is it?
Great. So that being said, the position itself is going to be what we call kind of a hybrid role, sales and service tech role. So this position itself is going to do mostly with you're going to repair, maintenance, the garage doors. While you're there, we do offer what's called a consultative sales approach. Let's say you're talking to the homeowner while you're repairing the garage door. You notice there's a lot of wear and tear. You get to know them. They tell you that they have multiple vehicles. The garage, is overused. So then at that point, you can kind of, once you build that rapport and get to know, what their needs are, offer of opportunity of purchasing a new garage door. Just kind of based on your assessment, got to know them. Let them know that most likely, due to the wear and tear, maybe in about 6 months, most likely would need to come back and do another repair job. With that being said, these are options. Not only the garage door will, fix this problem, but it'll also change the aesthetic look on the house. Have you ever thought about, maybe upgrading, things like that. So once you kind of start that conversation, which kind of leads into going into the sales. Or it could be not just a full garage door, but it can also be maybe certain products, certain parts. The garage door.
Yeah. No. I guess one question. Well, so I guess maybe it's catered a little bit farther down the road, but is like garage doors like that. Is that something that they can finance, or do they have to pay cash for it, or is it? How does that work? Oh, you there? Oh, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, I said, so like on things like that, are the garage doors something that are only like cash sale only, or is it something they can finance?
No, so it is going to be able to purchase. We do feel that anywhere from a sale can be between, from certain parts to about a garage door can range anywhere between a couple $100 up to about 6,000, 7,000. It just kind of depends on the range, and usually they'll just purchase it cash or credit card.
Okay. Okay, I didn't know because I know sometimes, like you said, it could get really expensive, and I didn't, some people finance that or whatever. I guess they probably would do that through their credit card, no doubt.
Yes. With that being said, just to kind of give you an idea what we're looking for, someone that's able to go ahead and, like I said, strike up conversations with, since it's mostly residential, there are some commercial jobs. The position itself, you do work autonomously. To kind of give you kind of the day-to-day for the most part is you'll go ahead and service we say about 4 to 6 appointments throughout the day. You stay pretty busy. We have a saying, you're busy but not overworked.
Okay.
So you'll load up within the office or in the warehouse for what you need for your daily calls. You go through your appointments throughout the day, work to repair the garage door, and then if possible, sell the customer a new garage door if needed, kind of that consultative sales approach that I mentioned. So looking for someone that's able to promote and sell the products, service, using certain sales strategies. We do offer a certain training program as well that Precision has. So looking for someone that's going to be coachable. There's going to be what we call fleet management. So ensure the truck is cleaned, fueled, serviced, and restocked with appropriate materials, parts, and tools beginning of the day. Another thing would be just able to review work orders, the information, make sure everything's accurate. So high attention to detail, being organized as you kind of go throughout your appointments. I'm not sure if you use certain software or CRMs in your previous roles.
What's that?
Certain software or CRMs in your previous roles. It's kind of a system that we use where we kind of keep all the customers' information, where we do the orders. Any experience with that?
Yeah, a little, but not much.
Okay. No worries.
So there is one question that I have that I should probably jump right out and get out of the way. So the driver's license, driving record situation. What is that?
Yeah.
Explain to me all of that.
Yes. Like I mentioned, since we are going to be able to use a service vehicle with the role, we do make sure there's a valid driver's license because we will add you to the company's insurance, and then also can pass a background check. That's we ask all candidates.
Yeah, I got a sketchy background and an extensive driving record.
Okay. Does it go? Because I know. Let me look on the notes. I know it goes up to 7 years. Is this something that happened recently?
What exactly would they be looking for? I mean, I'm not a sex offender, that's for sure, but I've got a bunch of other things on my record.
Great question, because I don't want to provide any wrong information. I just know that anything that has to do with the driving record, for sure, because of the insurance, speeding tickets. I'm guessing.
Oh yeah,
like that.
I got about a 5-page driving record. It's pretty extensive. I actually don't have a license, but it's a restricted driver's license, like a work license almost.
I know we had an applicant a while back that mentioned that, but I I personally didn't interview him. I know it was part of the process that we're going through, but I think it did hinder because when it came back, they said that wouldn't be able to add them to the insurance just because it would raise the rates. Um, but unfortunately, Andrew, I think it will be an issue. But it was recently, or was it? It's been because I know there's
not in the last year.
Okay,
but
but it would have passed like around 5 years at least. 5 years ago.
Oh no, I had some stuff more recent than that. Yeah, like 3 years ago maybe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's. I was gonna say because I know they go up to 7, but if it's within like if it was 5 years ago, there's kind of that gray area, I guess we can say. But if it happened less than that, I know that was one of the things they did bring up. Yeah, unfortunately, Andrew, I think that would be one of the reasons we would not be able to
be a deal breaker, eh?
Yeah, unfortunately. Sorry about that, Andrew.
No, it's all good, man. I just, if you don't ask, you don't know. So I just kind of, it's been a problem going forward for me. You know what I mean? Yeah, a lot of places, when I was applying for jobs as a mechanic, you know what I mean? They, same thing, if they couldn't put you on their insurance, they couldn't hire you because, when you get done fixing the car, you got to be able to test drive it. And, I've been racing cars since I was 16 years old, and I got 4 DUIs and some other stuff. It's just all bad.
Yeah. I mean, at the end
you live and you learn, right? And
completely understand. As far as just kind of going through the process, we understand. Again, we don't judge. At the end of the day, you learn from mistakes, and then you just want to move forward. But the best thing I can tell you is just with time. As long as once you kind of pass those, a certain time frame, then you'd be able to come back and apply. It's just within that range, we would not be able to move forward though. But
no, you're all good, man. You're all good. Well, I appreciate your time, and it was good chatting with you. And I don't know, let me get my record clear up, and I'll get a hold of you guys at a later date.
Will do. Thank you so much, Andrew. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You have a great day, man. Bye.